Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out with the entertainer Johnny Nelson ahead of what promises to be an entertaining card this weekend. Johnny, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. You look like you've lost a bit of weight as well, so you're back on it. So the bug is catching. People are starting to look after themselves physically.
Good catches when you have inspirations in front of you as well. And these fighters this weekend looking to be inspirations for the next generation. They are the next generation. A lot of talent on this card.
I like the fact that this caliber of talent are getting an opportunity to step up to play. Caroline Dubois boxing for the IBO title. It's not about the title, it's about the responsibility of being headliner of a bill. Can she deal with that responsibility? I believe she can. I think she's mature enough and has the right minerals for that. Vidal Riley, I think it's a great fight against Noel. I think that's for the English cruiserweight title. And I think, to me, on paper, would really be his toughest test so far as a professional fighter. And Callum, Callum Simpson. I think Callum, again, another chance for this young man to put himself in a position to fight for a British title.
Sticking on Vidal Riley, as I'm sure he's someone that you keep an eye on, him being a cruiserweight. Not a lot of fighters do what he do, being someone who can capture the imagination of his audience on social media. Vidal, that's right. Why do you think people haven't cottoned on to what he's doing and do more of what he's doing?
They will do, but they've got to figure out the formula. They've got to figure out how it's done. You know, a lot of fighters have now got to learn from the YouTubers. Vidal's been around them, so he gets it. To create that intrigue, that popularity, that interest. And so give it time, give it a couple of years, and fighters will eventually, the penny will drop.
Caroline Dubois is certainly someone who's on the fast track. Do you feel she's ready for a world title now? Do you think she needs a couple more?
I think if she wants to stay there, if she wants to win a title and stay there, I think that she needs to, I'd have a couple more. But I think she's in a position where she's a great fighter. She's an heir apparent, and I actually like that.
Callum Simpson, always someone up north as well. A lot of talk about Callum. What do you see for his trajectory in terms of his ceiling, where he can get to in the sport?
You speak to this young man off camera, and you know it's not front for the cameras. He likes to fight, he wants to fight, he's a student, forever wanting to learn, and his ambition is to be a champion. He wants to be a local hero, as far as he's concerned, and then a national hero. So, and I like that. I like that because he shows hunger, carries himself well in and out of the ring, eats, sleeps, breathes boxing, which is the best thing. And he's from Yorkshire.
And he's from Yorkshire indeed. Someone you'll be champion. Moving on to a couple of things from last week. First of all, obviously it was a divide opinion in terms of Conor Benn's return to the ring. He has now returned to the ring. Where do you stand on the divide in terms of his return?
So let's just put a line through it. On the political side and the business side of it, this is down for the board, his management team, Conor, to sort out in box at the weekend. So let's talk about the performance. I thought the performance was good. It's been no secret, I've always been a fan of Conor Benn. And watching his performance, putting everything to one side, I thought his performance was good to see. He had that much time out of the ring. Let them sort out their business. You know, that is still in the air in regards to how the board will deal with it, how we'll move on with his career as a professional. In regards to attitudes to him, to me, I'd have bit the bullet initially, and you'd be halfway through the band, if not over the band by now. But he chose to choose his path and get on with it. But as a performance, I think he's forever developing fighter. Let me remind you. Yes, people are going to say, but you failed the drug test. Drugs don't make you a better fighter. You understand? Drugs might help you lose weight, might even help you take a shot a bit more, or might get you, give you the energy to whatever. But they do not make you a better fighter. They don't turn your brain into all of a sudden to a boxing Einstein. I boxed 3 drugs cheats and beat them. So what I'm saying to you is, so that aside, you look at the performance of his boxing skill. I thought, you know what, this kid, I got to rate him. I know I got to rate him. I've got to rate him.
The trajectory will have changed in terms of who people would favour in a Eubank Jr. versus Benn fight. From what you've seen in their recent performances now, where do you stand on who would be the favourite in that fight if it does materialise?
I don't know, man, because it was hard. Initially, I said Conor will eat him alive because to get down to the weight. Junior showed, well, actually, we could do something here. And how he turned around his last fight, you cannot write this young man off. You've got to favour the bigger man. But I don't know. If you ask me to pick someone, I can't pick anybody. But either way, I think it's an intriguing, good fight because there's a lot more going on than what we see on camera.
Sometimes we kind of tend to focus on the bad. Let's tend to focus on the good for a moment. It was really cool seeing Ante Yard on Sky Sports News calling for fights with light heavyweight fighters. And Ben Shlom saying that he's agreed to deal with George Warren for a fight to happen with the winner of Buatsi Aziz on Sky Sports. That's surely good for boxing.
I love that. And you hear it from the horse's mouth, from the lion's mouth, instead of hearing it via third party. And so the fans can see that the fighters want this. It's not, he said, she said. And so for Anthony to come in and say, let's do this, he's always wanted it. It's the businessmen that spoil the fights, not the fighters. Most fighters want to fight each other. It's the business behind it that messes it up.
Your thoughts quickly on Buatsi Aziz? Who'd you favour in that one?
Buatsi and Aziz. You've got to look towards Buatsi because Buatsi has a proven record. It's now for Dan to step up to say, it's my time now. You've got to looking on paper doing it that way. But either way, I think it's a good fight.
Last week we saw Zhang defeat Joe Joyce again. The way I want to attack this question with you is, look, you've been someone who's had back-to-back defeats to Adilson Rodriguez, albeit in different circumstances. How do you rebuild a fighter whose confidence may be taken aback because of those defeats? How did you build that back?
Okay, it's the fashion of the defeat. So when I lost to Rodriguez, I didn't lose. I got teethed. Lost him twice, got robbed. Whereas Joe Joyce got knocked out twice. So, and this is about, now it's about mindset. Number one, as a fighter, when you're knocked out twice, when it's never happened before, all of a sudden you think, oh my God, I'm a chinny. That's a you problem. You got to get it in your head. I'm a chinny, kind of take a shot. Quite clearly struggles with southpaws, big hitting southpaws. The problem is Joe's strengths were his chin. He got hit a bit too much as far as I'm concerned, but his strengths with his chin. So in doing that, if he's now become chinny, 70% of his defense is gone because he's tough. He can take a shot or walk you down and bust you up. What could he do? I actually thought he'd win the rematch, if I'm honest with you. I thought he learned his lesson from the first one. He got greedy with Zhang. Thought the shots were there to be taken. Punch, gone inside the pocket, got taken out. This time Zhang now knows what he's capable of doing. And so what does Joyce do from here? Joyce has got to decide, can his confidence be built up again? Because all these fights are going to be hungry now. I gather Tony Bellew was talking about Fabio Wardley and getting in there with him. And it's great to put the names together, but I won't do that yet. I just won't do that yet. If I was Fabio's handler, I just won't do it yet. But now it makes a lot of fighters ambitious to think, I'll have a piece of that. So let's see the next fight of Joe Joyce to see if he has all of a sudden come chinny overnight. Because if he has, he might as well walk away because he gets hit too easy. So let's just see. Or let's see if he just met his bogeyman. And that man will always beat him 99 times out of 100. So let's just see. Wait for the next fight.
Is it as straight and direct as, look, if that punch resistance has gone, he should be looking to retire?
Unless he changes his style completely, yeah. You look at his style of fight, he gets hit easy. If you can't take a shot in the chin, you get hit that easy, you need to jack in because you're going to get knocked out or get wobbled every time you get in the ring. So he's either got to change his fashion of fight or if it's gone, it's gone. It's nothing you can do about it. It's like day and night. When it's gone, it's gone. So we just have to wait and see. You can't. It's a bit early, a bit premature to write him off.
Of these four fighters, who would you pick Zhang to beat? Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk, or Tyson Fury?
To beat? None of them. I don't think he beats any of them. All of a sudden, everybody's going mad about Zhang. I'm thinking he can punch, he can be beaten, he can be hit. You've got to be smart to deal with this cookie. And I think all of the four beat him. Everybody says a fight is unbeatable until he's beaten. Everybody's beatable. Zhang's lost, but I think all four of them beat him.
A lot of talk has kind of rumbled on about the potential of an Anthony Joshua versus Zhang fight. A fight you want to see, a good fight for Anthony Joshua?
What does it do for Anthony Joshua's career? Because really he's looking back instead of looking forward. I don't think it enhances that at all. I think AJ's in a position where he needs to make sure every fight means something for him, be it financially, be it one step closer to resurrecting himself and his career. But I think fighting Zhang, I don't get the benefits. Do it when you have to.
Fans want to get you talking on points of contention that have ruffled feathers in the boxing scene. First of all, Frank Smith, there's comments regarding the veracity or the transparency, I should say, the word to use, regarding Conor Benn's case. You kind of said, like, why do builders specifically need to see or be given that information? Maybe not meant in the way it was received, but said nonetheless. Just your thoughts on it.
Listen, I think the problem is this: everybody wants an explanation because they've seen an unjust. It looks unfair. This guy's failed his drug test and he's boxing. What's going on? So the arrogance is more or less saying, I don't want to explain to you, I don't have to explain to you. As long as the right people, as far as we're concerned now, that's important. On an official level, the boxing board of control are the right people. So it's a case that everybody has an opinion, and regardless of what's happening outside with Conor Benn, I just think it is what it is. He's boxed. You've got to accept it. There's some shadiness going on, or something's going on. There's a cloud over Italian boxing. You're going to think, yeah, but I'm quite sure with Tyson Fury, Canelo Alvarez, we can go on and on and on and on. If I was Conor, I'd have just bit the bullet whenever it was. He'd have done his ban by now. The cloud's always going to be there. And it'll come out. And if you've not got the backing of the boxing board, an official set up like the boxing board saying, as far as we're concerned, you're a cheat and you've not done your ban, then that will follow him everywhere and anywhere. And unfortunately, fans here in the UK will not benefit from seeing it.
And lastly, you and I stand as two ethnic minorities within the sport. You obviously achieved a lot more than I have in the sport, but nonetheless, two ethnic minorities. There's been a report on Channel 4 regarding racism, Islamophobia, discrimination, launched and looking into the British Boxing Board of Control and their representation. I just wondered what you made of that report and whether there's an issue that needs to be rectified within the BBBoC.
Yes, there is an issue that needs to be rectified. There needs to be dragged into the 21st century. There needs to be visual representation of people that are actually in that sport, that get it, that get the different culture, get the different ethnic minorities. But to tell me the Boxing Board of Control are racist, bullshit, proper bullshit. And you know what? And even if we're racist, you tell me how racism plays a part in the boxing game. Because if black can beat white or white can beat black, the best is the best. Don't matter what colour it is. That's number one. Number two, in regards to the refereeing or the officials, that's when they want to get their house in order. That's what they want to do. They want fighters to go in there and think, I'm going to get a fair shake of the stick. And so many times you'll always think that referee's favouring him, and it's happened for years. But what I'm saying is about the Boxing Board of Control, they need to pull themselves into line and represent 2023. That's what they need to do, represent, because Brendan always called it a kangaroo court. You go in front of the board and they, whatever rules they decide, that's what you've got to deal with. They've got to move with the times, because unfortunately they will be tarred with this brush. They might get one or two black faces say, well, look, we've got one here. It don't work like that. You need people that understand the boxing culture, the boxing world, the fighters that are coming through. You need someone that represents, that has a voice. They're not in a titular position where you say, you stand there and you said it, but I don't say anymore. You can't do that, and people are seeing through that. But to say the Boxing Board of Control are racist, I disagree. They're just old school stupid, and you just need to move with the times.
Johnny, good conversation. Appreciate your words too. Thanks for taking us out.